Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of So Now You're a Teacher. I'm your host, Liesl McConchy, international expert on brain-based learning, author, teacher, and mother of 3, who is like Lysoling every box that Amazon is delivering to my porch. Can someone help me out here? Like, is this what we're supposed to be doing? I don't even know. I'm just like, that's what's happening. Hey, in episode 6 here, we're talking more about exercise, physical activity, how it impacts the brain. In our last episode, we talked about how exercise improves our stress regulation. And in this episode, we're going to focus in on cognition or learning. By the time we finish this episode, you are going to be so blown away that schools have been cutting PE for decades. It's just unbelievable. But some of the research is new, some of it's not, and it's just not widely known. So welcome to the world of being informed, and informed people make informed decisions. So we can do this. Here we go. The schools that do know the research on physical activity and learning, they're doing some really amazing things. So there's one school in particular here in the United States that has caught on to this research, and what they've done is they identified students' weakest subject, and what they did is they put their PE class immediately before their weakest subject in their class schedule. So if a student was really struggling with math, they made sure that the student had PE right before math. If they were really struggling with reading, put PE right before their language arts class. And the results are ridiculous, you guys. We're talking, compared to the non-PE students who didn't take PE before this class, control for all of their variables, students were reading a half a year ahead of their non-PE peers. Students who were struggling with math, they're scoring 4 times higher than their non-PE taking peers. Like 4 times higher just because they did some physical activity the hour before class. That's how much physical activity improves learning. And the research is so profound. I've written an entire chapter on this in my latest book that's coming out. I co-wrote a book with my good friend and mentor, Dr. Eric Jensen. I think it's actually supposed to be coming out this week. I don't even know, because of all that's going on, what that's done for our printing schedule. But you might be able to still get it at a good discount on Amazon if you pre-order it, if it hasn't been released yet. So go check it on Amazon. Just search my name, Liesl McConchy, or you can search Brain-Based Learning is the name of the book. There's an entire chapter with all the research and all the references you need to know the importance of physical activity and learning. Here's the quick Cliff Note version. Yes, physical activity improves oxygen, which improves brain function. It releases dopamine, which is related to motivation, and it releases the blood flow, the attention, the BDNF. That improves attention as well as long-term potentiation. There's just so much to it, and it's too overwhelming. So let's just focus in on one thing that I think might be of real interest to you, and that is something that's called neurogenesis. Now, neurogenesis is a relatively new discovery in the world of neuroscience, so it's really exciting for us who geek out about this stuff. Neurogenesis is the brain's ability to produce new brain cells. That's right. So many of us are raised to believe that, the brain cells that you're born with, that's what you get, and you just work with what you got. But that's not true. The brain can and does produce new brain cells every day. And there's actually things that we can do to accelerate that production and give ourselves more brain cells. Now, who wouldn't want more brain cells? I'd love to have some more. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do it, and I can post an article. I've got one. I've written an article on neurogenesis, and I'll post it here in the comments so you can check it out if you're looking for other ways. But one of the ways that we can produce new brain cells and contribute to neurogenesis is through physical activity. When you really dive into the research, you learn that it takes 20 minutes of daily high-intensity exercise. We're talking like running, swimming, biking, to really get the benefits of neurogenesis. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. Okay, I'm totally geeking out. I can tell it right now. So So neurogenesis happens in a few different parts of the brain, but one of the places of the brain that it happens, that's right, go back to our Lego brain, is right here in the red portion. We've talked about this region of the brain before. That's the hippocampus. So neurogenesis happens in the hippocampus. And the hippocampus, as you remember, leads the short-term memory team and is highly involved in learning and memory formation. So where we want to have more brain cells, we can get them if we just do some exercise. Now, we get the best results when it comes to learning when we do our physical exercise right before we do the learning. Now, I know it's common in some homes, like just check in with yourself and how you're managing things in your own home. So if you have been using play as almost a reward, like, hey, let's wake up, like it's just a common mindset. Like, let's wake up, like, let's just quickly get all of our schoolwork done and then we'll go out and play. My suggestion is, swap that. Get your kids outside or inside and get them moving, get them playing, get them on your trampoline, get them on their bikes, get them doing some crazy obstacle course, running your stairs, whatever you've got. Throw on the YouTube video that they're really enjoying. Put on your P90X. I don't even know what those things are called. I probably shouldn't have even said that. But whatever it is, get them moving before they start their schoolwork. And then make sure that they don't just sit all day long. So after an hour or so of doing some schoolwork, get them back up and get them doing some physical activity again. And that's how we'll keep their brains as active as possible, learning as best as they can, and just producing all those good things that is going to help us with our stress regulation as well as learning. For us, I mean, we're doing all sorts of crazy things because we've been cooped in for a long time. I mean, please don't call the cops on us, but we're going on family walks around the neighborhood. We're stealing rocks from all of the neighbors. We're coming home, we're painting them, and then we go back out and one of the kids hides the rocks with one of the adults, hides them all over the neighborhood, and then we go back out and we're finding the painted rocks just to keep novelty high, keep motivation high, interest, excitement, all those things. So it doesn't just feel like, oh, another family walk kind of thing. So there's lots of ways that you can spice it up, keep it new, keep it fresh, and keep those brain cells growing and developing new ones. Like neurogenesis is just really, really cool and is a really, I mean, it's more brain cells. Enough said. I can stop talking. So that's our two main things so far about exercise. Last episode, we talked about stress regulation. This one about cognition or learning. In our final episode about exercise, we're going to talk about how exercise improves student behaviors. Oh man, I got some research studies to share with you. Okay, that's not really exciting. But what they show is incredible. I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version, I promise. So hey, until then, take a deep breath. Oxygen is good for the brain. We got this.